What's happening, everybody? It is Sunday, June 18th. I want to discuss something that's a bit of a personal topic and something that is definitely relevant to a lot of guys around my age. And that involves dating and how dating is in this generation. To sum it up in one sentence, dating in this generation probably is the worst that it's ever been for both men and women. Because honestly, men are not being men anymore and women are not being women anymore. And it seems like we don't bring anything to the table in our relationships except for a lot of baggage, insecurity, and just a lot of toxicity and just drama. It's like, let me put it this way. A relationship should be about going ahead and helping build a person up and to make them become better. But it seems like in this day and age, it's like we want to go ahead and look at the more superficial aspects of what a person is. Yes, for me, I like attractive, beautiful women. I can talk with attractive and beautiful women. I talk with women all the time. I'm not afraid to go after what I want. I have the skills, I have game when it comes to speaking with women. But when I talk with a lot of girls around my age nowadays, I'm about to be 30 this September. What I've noticed is that the good girls are already taken. They've been picked up at a young age. They've been married. They have kids. And chances are they have a good husband or whatever. But what's left over in the dating market when you get to around my age is a lot of trash and damaged goods. Number one thing, a lot of girls around my age who are single are also single moms. I have this kind of game I play with myself in which I look at a profile of a woman that I think is very attractive on Instagram. I mean, I follow women who are mostly exotic models in Colombia or Brazil or Puerto Rico or Mexico and places. And I look at them and I say, oh, she's very hot. She's around my age, but I bet she already has a kid. Oh, I knew it. She's already has a kid. So that's one thing. Another thing is that, a lot of women nowadays, it's like the only thing that you have to bring to a relationship other than another guy's kids is this whole entitlement mentality. It's like, oh, if my presence doesn't make you want to treat me like a princess and the fact that I'm so pretty and I have a vagina, then that means that you don't deserve to be with me. And for all honesty, for me, a woman like that is nothing more than just a waste of my time. Get out of here. But it's just like, in this day and age also, it's like a lot of women think that it's so cool to go ahead and to just sleep around with a lot of different men, just like men think it's cool to sleep around with a lot of different women. Now, here's the difference. I don't care what anyone says. Men have been designed to want to spread their seed with as many women as possible. But that's the more primal nature of men. Whereas for women, she is born with a certain number of eggs that she shares with the best suitor with men that she wants to bear children with. But it's like all these girls, I remember a while ago, like I said in one of my previous videos, it's like a lot of women, they want to live this city girl, hot girl summer life. And then you become run through and damaged goods by the time you're 40 years old. And then you want to settle down and go ahead and have kids with a nice guy. You say, oh, I know my worth now. I need to go ahead and get married and have kids. But you're already damaged goods. It's like this one guy, Dr. Umar Johnson, who is a black nationalist and activist. I mean, he said in this one video something that really, really resonates not only in the black community, but also throughout the whole nation and even the world. And his is a message for women. He said, stop hoeing around your 20s and your 30s. You give your 20s to the bad boys. You give your 30s to the pretty boys. And then you get to around 40 years old and now no one is wanting to go ahead and marry you because you're already damaged goods and you are not in the prime of your life. And that's why I come to realize is that it's best for a woman to go ahead and to find her a husband, not when she's 40 or 50 years old, because you're not that attractive. We want you when you're at your prime and most attractive. The best time to get married is when you're young. But going into this, a lot of women are single moms. They're very entitled, but they also are too much of a boss chick. Like, oh, I want the bag. I don't need a man. I can do everything on my own, blah, blah, blah. I remember I saw a video a while ago about this one woman who was very attractive, and was living in Atlanta, and she said, and she was still single. And the first thing that the guy asked her was, what do you have to bring to a relationship? She says, I have my own business. I don't need a man. Well, if you don't need us, then we don't want to be around you. I mean, the thing is that a lot of women have this idea that men are useless, men are not significant, and all this other stuff. And it's like men are just disposable. Well, if we don't feel appreciated by you, then don't be surprised that we're going to go somewhere else where we're appreciated. That's why I understand the whole passport bro movement, and I'm considering doing that myself. Because it's like the average modern day American woman is a single mother who's indifferent or adversarial towards men, who wants to say that she's going to chase the bag and chase the money, and she's going to go ahead and have kids, not to actually raise them, but so she just has them like a purse. And she just has kids and she drops them off at daycare. And the kids are raised by the state and by the school. And kids aren't really being raised by their parents nowadays. They're mostly being raised by what they see on TV and music and video games, or even just what's on their phone through Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and social media. I mean, in this day and age, what else can I say about women? Oh, let's see. Single mothers, damaged goods. Oh, this is why I 100% think what women want nowadays. Women really don't want a man that they can go ahead and have him lead and guide them and correct them in life. They want a guy who's like a grown little boy or a little girl that they can control and use him to get what she wants from him, and who will please and pander her like she's a spoiled princess. And I look at married guys all the time out in public, and they're carrying the kids behind the woman, and I can tell, yep, she's obviously wearing the pants in the relationship. Men aren't wearing the pants in the family anymore. The pants are being mostly worn by the women. And I think the reason why is because a lot of guys nowadays did not have their dads in their life. A lot of guys nowadays were raised by single moms, so they're used to following, pandering, and pleasing women because they were used to growing up following, pandering, and pleasing their mother. I was raised different. You know, when I was growing up, my parents' relationship wasn't necessarily the best. They had a lot of problems and issues, but my dad, he worked his ass off to be able to provide for the family with his own business. He had his own BMW mechanic shop. And my mom, she stayed home and took care of the house and cooking and cleaning and raising my brother and I. But it hasn't been that way for many generations. It's like, you know, in this day and age, it's like the men in relationships are like servants to their women. The husbands are servants to their wives. And a lot of guys nowadays who are married, it's like they're pussy whipped. And I'm looking at this, I think, you know, it would be nice to get married, but I'm not getting married in this day and age, given the way that how marriage treats men. Especially given the fact that over half of all marriages end in divorce, 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. And what is it that men get out of marriage anyways? I personally think that guys get married because society conditions you to do it. You want to fit in and follow the crowd and do what all your other friends and family have done. And because you're afraid of being alone. Whereas for me, to be honest with you, I don't mind being alone. I like being alone and just having my peace of mind and happiness and doing my own thing. I have my hobbies. I have my career. I have all these different things. And just to make me feel good about myself, which I don't really need to be with someone. I mean, a relationship is optional, but I will say this is that for me, ideally in a relationship, is that I want to be with a special woman who we vibe together, preferably someone who's more on the exotic side. Like me and my friend talked about this a while ago, and he said that I don't think you would do very good with a white girl, and you're probably a little too much for a Mexican woman. You probably would do better with a black girl because I have more of that vibe and personality to me. I mean, I may be white, but it's like I grew up in a place that's more so like the barrio and the ghetto, and I was exposed to like black and Hispanic culture from the street ever since I was a kid. And it's just like that builds inside of you, and you get along with certain people based on where you grew up at. And it's like, I don't get along very well with people from the suburbs. If I go in the suburbs, I'm just bored out of my mind. But if I go more so into like, I was over in Echo Park like a week and a half ago, I vibe more of the people in that area. You know, I vibe more of that sort of part of town in LA versus Beverly Hills. But yeah, other than that, it's just like, a woman who will go ahead and either work with me or you follow my lead. But you're not going to control me like a dog on a leash or a puppet on a string. That's not going to happen. And it seems like the vast majority of men nowadays who are married or even in relationships are like that. The woman just controls you like a puppet on a string, or they have you like a dog on a leash. You're not going to do that to me. You're not going to tell me what to do like you're my mom and I'm your son. Like I remember these women in work, they call me mijo. Because I think in the Latin culture, the women are used to treating men like boys. And I said, no soy su hijo, soy su compañero, caballero. No manches. I think you get the point. But it's like men nowadays are used to being treated like little boys from women because they've been raised to be like grown little boys in men's bodies by their moms. That's what I think the reality situation is. And then women are becoming more so, get the bag, I don't need a man. They become more masculine based on feminism. And it's like, I don't fit into this whole spectrum of dating. Especially given the fact that nowadays a lot of guys think it's okay to go ahead and date a woman who's a single mother. They say, guys tell me, oh, why don't you date a single mom? You can help them out and repair the situation. I think, no. I know what the consequences and what I'm bringing myself into dating a single mom. It's not worth it. But yeah, overall, man, it's like this generation of dating with women and with men, given the way that they are, it's just bad. It's just really bad, man. It just sucks. It just makes me really think that, it might not be worthwhile going ahead and asking women out anyways. Because it's like, they don't bring that much to the table. And all they bring is just entitlement, another guy's kids, and just this bougie, bossy attitude. Or another thing, I notice I get bored with most women. A lot of girls, they're just very naive and airheaded. They don't have a mind of their own. They just aimlessly follow the crowd and do what's popular. They don't think for themselves. And it's just like, I get bored. I honestly just get bored. I thought I had a thing going with a girl that I reconnected with a few weeks ago. But then all of a sudden, she just wanted to change her mind, saying, oh, I'm going to focus on my career and a relationship be too much of a distraction. And it's just like, if it really keeps up like this, the disconnect, the social disconnect as far as dating is concerned, it'll have more of a negative effect on our society. There won't be as many kids being born. We'll have a lot more just disconnected families. Marriage is already going out the freaking window. So it might come to a point which relationships, period, will go out the window. Everyone's just going to be fucking everybody. And there's no real commitment and stability. No. I would have gotten married like back in the days in my grandparents' generation. But that's because men acted like men and women acted like women. men and women played their roles. Now it's like men and women, they don't really have a role. It's like, oh, it's offensive for you to go ahead and call yourself a real man or a woman or whatever. It's just like, no, this is what has worked for a long time. And now you want to change up the rules to fit up this whole bullshit Disney movie paradigm. No, I'm not going to go for it. But yeah, I've been on this idea and attitude for a while. I'm just making myself the prize to attract the right kind of woman. But now I just think that, you know what? The right kind of woman might not even exist at all. It's like I talk with women all the time. I see what the dating market is. And it's just like, ugh. It just doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't. It's like you want gourmet quality food, and you're looking at this low-grade, mediocre food from the buffet at a rundown casino in a bumfuck, shitty, crusty town. You know, it's like overcooked rice and peas and carrots with crunchy noodles it's like you're going to a Chinese restaurant in the ghetto and you're looking at food like that. It's just, ugh. And it's like, just when you think, when you're talking to a girl and she says that, and she has all the qualities, she's a very sweet, loving girl, and you can tell that she'd be a great asset to your life. You try to ask her out, she says, I'm actually married, or I have a boyfriend. It makes you think, yeah, the good ones are usually taken. But you know what? I think, honestly, a lot of times women lie about their relationship status instead of just saying no. But my thing is this, is at this point, the whole dating thing, asking girls now, I don't know if it's even really worth it anymore. It's not really worth it for this generation. You just want to focus on staying, men becoming the prize, and not being so concerned about wanting to be in a relationship with a woman. Because like one of my main mentors, this one old school pimp named Hollywood Shante said, he said, I don't understand why you guys feel as though you have to be in a relationship with a woman. There's so many women out there that you can't even imagine. They're not going anywhere. But your goals and dreams in life should be bigger and more important than having to be in a relationship with a woman. And that's what's going to be my main focus right now. Just achieving what I want and going to where I want in life. Grinding and hustling and becoming the best you can be. You know, focus on being just the most handsome you can be, the most charming you can be, the most intelligent and spiritually well-rounded you can be, and just driven to reach the mountaintop. And I noticed that when you show that about yourself around other people, especially women, they have more respect for you. But you lose a lot of relationships and people in the long run, because not everyone can go ahead and go forward with that path. I have things going on for myself that ladies find to be attractive, but now it's like a lot of ladies in general are just not worth my time. And it's just like, until then, I'm fine just being solo dolo. You know, I'll still talk with ladies, but the dating market now, guys, is just like, it's not really worth it, man. Don't expect a lot of substance or really a lot of quality in this generation. Just focus on being the best you can be. And if everyone was to go and do that, the dating market would be so much better. But it's just a lot of damaged goods and a lot of toxicity and just nothing of substance whatsoever out there. So yeah, guys, just go ahead and focus on you. Make that the highest priority, and then hopefully the right person will come along. If not, then it is what it is. But anyways, that's all I have to say for tonight. Well, this afternoon. I'll go and I'll talk with you guys later. Peace out. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.